and welcome to the Wise Hour, where we bring strategies and solutions to life challenging issues. I'm your host, J Melane, also known as Wise, and we're gonna have an amazing life coach here today. That coming here gonna bring you some strategies for real. This man is certified. This man is experienced, and guess what? He know what he's talking about. He no stranger to my platform, and trust me, you want to hear this brother each and every day of your life. Trust me on that. So, with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and jump into this amazing show. Let's go.
At the Wise Hour, we break through the night, bringing knowledge fire, so hold on tight. Every episode, a story to unfold. We're turning every minute into...
All right, dropping 24 Kerry Gold bars indeed. What's going on? Coach Antonio Landis Thompson, the best and the greatest day to be alive is today. That's my motto that came from you. Brother, what's going on? How you doing?
The best and the greatest day in the world and the universe to be alive is today. I'm so happy to be here. But before we start anything, I want to give a shout out to your mom. I'm sending my love straight to her.
All right, now, mom, we gonna check this out. I know she gonna come back with the hearts of herself. So I'll let her sure she know she'll be so excited because like I said, she learned so much, even listening to you. And my mother is full of wisdom, but she always gain new insight about how to look at life when you speak, and that's monumental. When you can touch anybody from the youth and to people who are more seasoned, that means you got a gift from God, real gift from God, brother. So we appreciate you. All right, for those who do not, well, for some reason have not heard the name, I can't believe how they haven't if they've been on this platform. But go ahead and introduce yourself to everyone.
Well, my name is Antonio Landis Thompson, also known as King Tones. I was raised in the beautiful islands of the Bahamas under the leadership of Dr. Myles Monroe and Richard Pinder. So if you hear that Bohemian accent and it's connected to Myles Monroe, and if you hear me talking and you say, I kind of like his philosophy, it was influenced strongly by Dr. Myles Monroe. But now I reside in the beautiful United States of America in South Carolina. I'm married to one wife, Queen Jessica, two children, a boy and a girl who are actively involved with sports. And my purpose in life is to empower you to tap into and maximize your potential, discover your purpose, and become all what you were designed to be. And if you want to get any more information about me, you can follow me on social media, on LinkedIn, or you could go to my YouTube page, just type in Antonio Landis Thompson, because there's only one in the world, Antonio Landis Thompson. Back to you, Mr. Wise.
And like he said, it's only one. And just so you know, in the description, just below the like button, you will find the information there as well. So definitely, so I'm gonna make sure I say that just below the like button. So like, subscribe, because you do not want to miss any opportunity here when we bring somebody on. You know what I'm saying? Full wisdom. He's been trained and teach and mentor under Dr. Myles Monroe. Come on now. 24 karat gold bars drop indeed. Oh, brother, I appreciate you. And I appreciate you sharing your knowledge, because some people, they will charge high dollar for the information, and which you do. You got clients and everything, but they'll charge high dollar for the things you do, because you are very real and you give very quality stuff. So today on this show, what we're going to be actually talking about, and this way we're going to have the subject talking about finding your purpose in chaos.
Oh boy!
All right, this had got inspired because we had a couple group settings that us men was in, and that what they're talking about, really finding their purpose, and amidst a whole lot of things going on, and I figured it would be no better person than Coach Antonio Landis Thompson to be able to drop gold bars. And so with that being said, I want to move forward. The first point I want to make sure we address is breaking through the mental fog, because what happened is a lot of us, we are clouded, not thinking, clouding how we is. So we got to release that. How we break free from that mental fog in our minds. So, Coach Antonio, to you, man.
One of the things to break free from the mental fog is that you first got to realize you're in a fog. Whew.
Well,
Right. Because for you to want freedom, you first got to realize you in some type of chains holding you. If you got to realize you in some type of bondage. So to break free from that mental fog, you first have to realize that you're in a mental fog, or some people might say you're not in alignment. Because because my wife, she likes to say this. I call my wife, God knew why I had to marry my wife, because my wife is she has that Italian blood in her. But my wife, she's real. Like on the streets, she don't keep it 100, she keep it 1050. So she will say, paraphrasing what you saying, she'll say, no, you in a mental fog. And she'll say, stop walking in denial. And there were times in my life. Yeah, because see, as a speaker, or as a coach, or as an individual, as a father, as a mentor, you have to be real with people and let people know some of the same things that you helping them with is that also that's what you went through. So to answer your question, you first have to realize you're in a mental fog. And so when you realize you're in a mental fog, right, you realize something holding you back, you start to back, and then you realize, oh, I need some help. Because if you don't realize you are in a mental fog, it could start off at 20 years old, then you go to 30, then you go to 40, then you go to 50, 60, 70, and you could actually die leaving this world and never realize you was in a mental fog because you never came into that awareness. But here's the thing, and I'll throw it back to you. If you come and listen to a show like this, the Wise Empowerment Hour, right? If I was not even on this show and I was watching Antonio Landis Thompson King Tunes, and you asked a question to Antonio Landis Thompson King Tunes, this same answer would have made me come to the awareness, wow, I am in a mental fog and I've been living in denial for so many years and I didn't even know. All because you asked, even as a host, you acting as a coach too, or a therapist or a counselor, because you asked the right question. So we have to come to the first, you got to realize you're in there. And there was a time in my life that I realized I was in the mental fog. I realized I was in a hole, but guess what? There was so much pride inside of me, I didn't even ask for help.
And that's the key right there. You hit it around the nail. Sometimes, like you said, first off, realize you're in it. And the thing is, you can see the fall, but the problem is, it's the denial. It's that pride. It's that pride in yourself. I need help, but I'm not going to ask of it. I'm going to try this thing blindly. I don't know what this path is. Try this thing, and you bump into everything and everything hitting you, and you wonder why. And there is a God. There's somebody there able to help you through the situation. There's somebody who can give you an ear. And what happened with a lot of brothers, we think we had to do this alone. I'm one of them. I thought I had to do everything alone. I didn't, as I asked for help, would that make me feel weak? I got trained up. My dad trained me up like, hey, you don't cry, you man up, you handle your business, and I took that mentality with me many years. I would do things first. I would not ask for help. My brain, I wired myself to, it can't get done unless I do it. And that's not reality. That's not real. As both us as faith-based believers and disciples of Jesus Christ, Jesus didn't do everything by himself. He went out and he got disciples. And they were doing a lot of the stuff because he teach them, he taught them, but they work in they work in a fashion. They had an alignment. The word you used was very powerful, was alignment. I love that. And the thing is, we had to realize the power of alignment with our Creator, the power of alignment with each other. That that you are in a specific position in the path that you can be able to help me across that bridge, that mental bridge, that I don't have to be there on how to be in that fog, because you can see the way. You got the special glasses and everything like that allow you to
Yeah.
see through that
Yeah.
pathway and
Yeah.
allow to help me to get out of that.
Here's the thing about help, right? You could be trying to figure out something, and you could decide to do that for 5 or 10 years. And the minute you ask for help, the thing that you was trying to figure out for 5 or 10 years, you could end up doing it in a day, a month, or a year. Now, some people are so serious about getting out of the fog, they will pay hundreds and thousands of dollars because there's not a price tag on them, because they realize the benefit once they get out. Like, example, a guy could be struggling with, say, an addiction or something mentally going on. And he reached a point in his life, right? And he said, you know what? I can't handle this no more. It feels like there's a monkey on my back that I can't shake off. Then he said, listen, honey, I don't care what it takes for me to get over this. I want to get over it. And then he starts that process. And whether it's months or years, and he connects with probably a therapist or a counselor. But here is the reward. By him going through that, he's able to save his marriage. By him going through that, he's able to be a better father. But most of all, by him going through that to get help out of that mental fog, he's someone now, life is totally different, because now life is viewed through his eyes with a different perspective, all because he realized he needed help.
Woo! All because he realized, like you said, the first things to identify. I love it, brother. I love it.
Thank you.
Dropping 24 carry. Go bars indeed. All right, let's go to this one right here. The connection between mental clarity and self-identity. Come on, brother. I know you. Okay, go ahead and drop it. I'm ready for you.
As a man thinking is hard, so is he, right?
Ooh.
Yeah. So like when as a man thinking is hard, so is he, right? And you remember when you was a little boy growing up,
yes,
and you was trying to be Superman? You really believed you were Superman, even though you couldn't fly, right? You really thought you were Superman. And I used to look at me and one of our friends. We was talking about this a couple of days ago. We was like, you know what? We had some friends growing up. They always used to. I mean, even from elementary school, there was always about business. They selling candy at school, right? They selling candy at school. And then when we look at it, we like, these same people who were selling candy in school and chocolate are some of the most successful people in our area or zip codes or where we live growing up, because they had the mindset that they were going to be successful. Now, we didn't have that mindset. We was like, buddy, you better stay in school, try get your education. But they always trying to. So I go back to say this, man, but your mental and identity, however you see or perceive yourself, that is the identity that you're going to live out. Now, here's the danger thing. Your identity and your true identity, you might not be living that out correctly because your mental is not lined up with that.
Ooh.
So
Ooh.
if your identity is to live a life of success, greatness, purpose, and destiny, or whatever your identity is, all of us, the God of the universe, the universal God designed all of us, and all of us have an identity. But in my mind, I can't see myself there. Like, I'm finishing up a book. Well, I've been working on it for 5 years, but I'm coming on the home stretch. And I was sitting down 2 days ago, and I said to myself, you actually had the audacity to say you will write a book and believe that someone will buy your book? And I realized, whoa, my mind changed. Because there was a time when I would never thought I would write a book.
Oh, yes, I know that.
Because the mindset I had, right? It wasn't a bad mindset. My mindset I had was, okay, let me live life. Let me be an average person. But me, what can I bring to the table? What can I bring to the table? What substance I can bring? What value I can bring? So therefore, there was one identity that God had. He had this identity for me. So it took me years and years and scrubbing for me to say, hey, son, you're not just from the Bahamas. You just wasn't born on an island. Hey, you are an author. So for you therefore, my mind now starts lining up with the identity. So if your mental is not right and your mindset is not right, you're not going to see your true identity. There's still a fog.
It's still fog. You got that right. And you identified something that I thought was very unique and very different. And actually, I was doing that when I gave my presentation for this summit as of yesterday. I was talking about the superhero thing and what I did to have to cope as being a 7-year-old young boy is I saw an image of what the superhero saw today, save the day, Spider-Man, and they saved the day, right? Yeah. And I saw the image of what my father was. I did not like the image of what my father was, so I chose the identity that I saw on television. Yeah, as my defining myself, my identity. Ooh. Instead of being able to take the lessons and stuff from my real father because of the negativity, all the things, because he didn't know his identity. So he wasn't able to help me to define mine. So therefore, as a young man, you should look to your father for their guidance to find your identity. But what I had to do, I had to go to the television, which caused that fog again, because when he left, the whole thing is, he said, take care of your mom. How do you take care of her? Because he never taught me how to. The things he did was not the way you want to, because of a very abusive-based type of household where I came from that situation. Yeah. But see, the superhero standpoint was save the day. Save the day. So I took that whole thing of saving the day, not thinking about myself. I just want to save the day. How can I just save the day? I want to make sure I do this right so I can make somebody else happy and stuff like that. Not think about my happiness, not think about my concern. So growing up like that, I grew up like that. I came a young man thinking about everybody else's concerns. I have mine in my head, but it's my thought process is I make everybody else happy, then not be happy. And that's far from the truth. That is not even biblical. The thing is, what you do is you love God with everything you have. Yeah. In turn, love yourself with everything you have. Then from there, you're able to love everybody else. Yeah. So, so you right on the money about that identity standpoint. How do you define it? You have to get out of the fog. You have to identify it. And you have to put yourself in alignment with the right things. Now, the question is how to get there. We're going to give you some points. Yeah. You're going to drop some 24 karat goals on that. But, I'm going to go back to you and your thought process from there.
As you were saying that in terms of the mental, and I share this story a lot, and a lot of people heard this story. When I was growing up in the Bahamas, my mom was an educator before. Actually, when she died, she was still teaching. And one day, my mom walked into, I was doing my homework, right? And she said this. She said, when you want to learn, you go into learn. I was like, what's she talking about? Because she realized I was playing games. I wasn't serious about school. I was like, how can my mom have the audacity just to walk away from me? And she said, son, when you want to learn, you are going to learn. And she was saying that for an educator standpoint of view. And that was true. When I look at life more seriously, I start to learn. But I say all of this to say this, and this be dealing with the mental. I was struggling, and this happened. I even told my daughter this about 3 or 4 days ago. It happened between grade 3, 4, and 5. I was struggling in school, not because I was not a smart student. I was struggling in arithmetic or math, having problems with grammar. And then this is what I said. Gosh, I took the gun and actually shoot myself in my feet. I said to myself, Antonio Landis Thompson, just be real. You are a C student. And when I said that, I developed the mindset of a C student. Now, this is not a C. This is not a C student talking to you right now. Now, here's the weirdest thing, right? Even though my mom said, son, when you want to learn, you go into learn, because she was saying that from a educator point of view. She was basically, what she was saying is like, son, I can carry you to the water to drink like a horse, but you still have the want of water, right? So that's what she was trying to say. When you want to make that change and take responsibility for your life. But here's the thing. My mom, here's me dealing with the mentor, right? My mama never sat down with me and say, son, because you struggle in school, you're a C student. My teachers never said, okay, Antonio, because you're struggling in math, we're going to send you to the counselor. And the counselor said, okay, Antonio, because you're struggling in math, you're a C student. My friends, when we walk home or when we playing marbles or baseball or softball or soccer, they never had a meeting in the neighborhood. And they said, Antonio, we understand that you are struggling in school, right? Right? And say, we realized that you're a C student. No, my church didn't sit me down, right?
Ooh.
Right? Dr. Myles Monroe never pulled me in, right? My youth pastor, Dave Burris, never pulled me in. You know, the group I was in, System 3, never pulled me in. Nobody sat me down and told me I was a C student. I had a meeting with myself and told myself, I'm a C student. And that C student became my identity. And you know what I did for the rest of my life in school? Grade 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I was a C student. In fact, the school that I was attending, in order for you to get into the 12th grade, you had to have a C average. I barely got into the 12th grade. And you know exactly when I graduated, what I graduated with. I graduated with a 2.0. Back then, it was a C average. Because of this mindset.
The mindset, the mind, people, the mind. Since you say that actually brought up another point we're going to discuss right here, and that is common triggers that cloud your perception. You already talked about perception right there when you're talking about the C average. What are some common triggers that cloud your own perception?
Oh, some common triggers was that one stood out to me was that mindset of that cloud my perception growing up, and we were not rich, right? What I thought was rich. So let me clear about that, because common things that trigger my mindset was that I felt that at a certain point in my life that for me to be successful, I had to be born in a certain family. I had to live on a certain side of the fence, or I had to be a part of a certain group, right? So these were perceptions that trigger, but they were false perceptions. They were not true, because I didn't realize that wealth was not just financial. I tell people God was so good, because all the time when we grew up, none of us end up in the hospital, because number one, we ain't had the money to go to what type of money we had to be for a hospital bill. When we got older, right? When we older in life, then my mom may end up in the hospital, or my sisters, or what have you. But growing up, we had that health wealth. I didn't realize that the culture that I grew up in terms of my family, was wealth. So what triggered me was I had all of these false perceptions of what success was, and it was not. I didn't realize that you can be somebody making minimum wage, and you could have never gone to college. You might not be a CEO, but in your neighborhood, whenever they think about wisdom, they think about Mr. Smith who sits on the porch. But society said, no. In terms of you being successful in life, you have to. So, I was looking at, things that triggered me was that I wasn't lining up with that. Or just like me right now, and I'll throw it back to you. When I started getting into speaking and doing what God called me to do, for some reason I thought I had to wear a suit. And there's nothing wrong with a suit. There's nothing wrong with a suit. And people start confirming to me, they say, man, listen here, man. We see you like this, and you so real, but when we see you over here, you look like you're not a real person. And then, I had a talk with Delano Johnson, the brand specialist, and he's like, "Hey, buddy, you always telling people about be yourself, right?" He's like, "You just need to embrace who you are." And so then I started to realize I got free, but I didn't realize I had this so-called mindset that in order for you to be successful doing certain things, speaking, then you got to be like the old God. You gotta, and there's nothing wrong with them. They laid the path for us, like the Zig Ziglars and the Les Browns, and the Dr. Myles Monroe. I thought you are living out your purpose with their influence by being yourself. So that's a great question. So I had all of these false perception of what I thought. And so they were triggers to me because I thought I wasn't adding up to it.
Okay, now, hold on. We'll be coming right back to the show. I'm telling you right now, 24 karat gold bars is dropped indeed. But I want to give you an opportunity to hear from us, one of my special sponsors. So I got a message for you. So check it out.
My name is Anthony D. Shannon Sr., International Certified Leader, speaker, trainer, and coach, certified by John Maxwell and Samuel Chad. I am also the founder of Leaders Live Generously Academy, an Anthony D. Shannon consulting group, the #1 platform to help you overcome past failures, release your self-doubt, and shatter fears. You will reach your maximum potential and achieve high results in your life and your business. You see, my mission is to help you become the best you that you can be. With over 25 years of corporate experience, from sales positions to district vice president and even vice president positions with sales companies. I have been responsible for overseeing the success of training departments with over 3,000 employees. I've had the opportunity to create and deliver world-class, award-winning presentations on global stages and corporate platforms across North America. You see, my passion in life is growing and equipping others to do remarkable things and lead significant and fulfilled lives by overcoming and winning. You know, there's no greater mission for me, period. My motto is, everyone has a purpose. So you need to find your purpose and start living your life. That's why I've dedicated my life to teach and encourage people to win. You see, what separates me from the competition? I'll be flat out. It's honesty, it's integrity, it's relevance, it's passion, and it's care. We get results. I always say to live is to grow, and to grow is to change, and change is necessary for sustained success. You know, no matter the business you have, a sports team, corporate, management, or self-employed, if you are ready to unlock your full potential and win in life while serving others at the highest level, I want you to go right now to Anthony D. Shannon Consultinggroup.com or LeadersLiveGenerouslyAcademy.com.
And I want to thank Anthony D. Shannon Consulting Group for being a proud sponsor of the Wise Hour podcast. I'm telling you right now, if you want your potential, reach your full potential, that is the group for you. Sign up today. Don't waste no time, because you want results, you'll get results. So with that being said, family, hey, we're going back to the show. I'm telling you right now, Coach Antonio, he is dropping 24 karat gold bars indeed. So let's go back to the show. Wow. False triggers. You got to use that out of preparing yourself to something else, not based off reality. Reality is you are unique. You had taught this on this platform form that nobody have your fingerprints, nobody have your eye prints, nobody have those. You are unique, and you have to accept the uniqueness of yourself.
Oh, right.
And what happened is we make that comparison. We get triggered because we see somebody else and we think of, well, a salary teacher, social media, TV, and all that stuff. To be successful, you got to have certain money. Successful, you got to be an athlete. Successful, you got to drive a certain type of car. Successful, you got to wear these certain type of clothes, like you're talking about the suit. I know I still work in the corporate space, so sometimes I dress up in a suit. Sometimes I dress just casual now, because now it's more successful. Because at the end of the day, only thing they want It's your mind. Can you produce a result?
That's right.
Result,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that's what it's started going to. The thing is uniqueness, and understand your uniqueness and what's your gifts and talents that you can use to leverage. And what happened is we take our gifts and talents and we
yeah.
put them away. I want to be like this person right here. You know how we grew up. If I could be like Mike, want to be.
Okay.
Everybody was trying to be like Mike, inclusive myself, even though I don't have the height of that.
Yeah,
You're on the court, you think you MJ because the message is you want to align yourself for success. You can't be successful on your own right. You have to be like someone else. And reality is you can be yourself
be
and
yourself.
be successful sitting on the porch, providing wisdom to somebody.
Wisdom.
You can be a multimillionaire. But if
Yeah,
you're not a multimillionaire, if you in good health and you're in a good mind and you are good with yourself, then you're successful. You have to define yourself as successful, not what everybody else says, but how you feel about yourself. If you think you need to prove, guess what? You do the things to make a improvement. You align yourself with Antonio Landis Thompson, that we're going to encourage you, that going to give you strategies and stuff to move you forward. If you got the claw, if you feel like you're in chaos, they align yourself with somebody like you, because you're going to let them understand their own identity. You're not going to force your identity on them. What you're going to do, you're going to help them to realize their identity. And that's what I love about you, brother.
yeah. You know what I like to say with that, like, this is something that I like to say I grew up in the island. I like to use analogies in terms of my culture. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
A mango tree can never be a coconut tree.
Facts.
But here's the thing. The coconut tree looks at the mango tree and say, wow, look all of those hundreds of mangoes Mr. and Mistress Mango producing. But here's the thing with a mango tree. A mango tree can produce a lot of mangoes, but then they produce it in season. A coconut tree, right? When I was growing up, I always saw coconuts on a tree throughout the year. Whether you pick them or they fall, right? So imagine if I'm a coconut tree and I'm admiring and comparing myself to the mango tree, I will never ever become what I was born to be as a coconut tree, because guess what? I'm always looking. Now here's the thing. If I wake up one day and realize that, hey, I'm not a mango tree, I'm a coconut tree, or guess what? I might just be a tomato tree. And if my max is 25 or 15 tomatoes, I'm living out my purpose. If the coconut tree, you catch what I'm saying? If the coconut tree all year is only to drop or produce 300 coconuts, if the coconut tree meets that, then they maximize their potential. Now, if the mango tree can produce 500 mangoes and decide, listen here, I got all of this experience, I don't need to produce all of this, but I'm only producing 300. And some people's eyes, that's a lot. But guess what? That mango tree is still living under its potential. So I say all this to say, we have to learn how to accept and embrace our uniqueness, because you can't be like nobody else. Some of us in the world are mango trees. Some of us are tomato trees. Some of us are oak trees, where the whole world can come. All of the birds can come, right? Some of us are some of those tall cedar trees, high up, maybe hundreds of feet, where animals can live in, right? So the tall cedar tree is fulfilling this purpose because the cedar tree decide I'm a cedar tree, and the cedar tree is looking down at that tomato plant, and the tomato plant is successful because that's what the tomato plant, because it goes back to identity. But what happens is that, like you said, man, we look, and it's good. We can learn from people's experiences, from their lives, and how they motivate us and inspire us. But guess what? I've been there where I felt like I wasn't living up to a certain part. No. When you find your identity with the God of the universe, you'll know what you're supposed to be producing. Let me throw it back to you, man.
Ooh, if you line up with the God of the universe, you'll know what you're producing.
Yeah.
24 karat gold bars drop indeed.
D.
Come on now, brother. Oh man, you inspiring some stuff right here. So I want to make sure, since you on the roll, I want to make sure
Okay.
we get this one right here.
Yeah.
How chaos and uncertainty affects our mental well-being.
Oh, if you in chaos, and it's cloudy, and you blind, it affects you because you don't know where to go. And if it's constant chaos, then you can't get in alignment. You can't see true. That's like you waking up every day in a stress. That affects your mental, and you can't get no clarity. So it affects everything, because when you're in that constant chaos, you're out of alignment. And because you're out of alignment, you can't get no clarity. And because you can't get no clarity, baby, you can't get no direction.
Ooh, wee! Come
You
on
you
now.
you bringing the good questions, buddy. And we've been there. Like I said, I like to run. So if I don't have a clear path on where I'm running, then it's gonna be chaotic. Like before I go run, I kind of like, okay, I'm running 5 miles. So I'm gonna go down here. I'm gonna do this road. Imagine me just wake up in the morning and say, oh, okay, let me just go running. And it's chaos and there's trees all over the place and there's mountain. Guess what? You're gonna be stressed out.
Come on.
Yeah,
You telling the truth.
yeah.
You telling the truth. We gonna
And
be
that's
stressed
real.
out.
And that's real. And then you might not like we talk at the beginning of the show, that is fog producing, and you might not realize that. But one of the things we could realize that there's some fog, or there's no clarity, because guess what? You just keep knocking, and nothing is happening, right? Or you keep planting. Like, I'll be real with you. It's like I'm doing all of this and doing all of this. How come I ain't getting no food? I said, God, what's going on? I said, what's going on? Then I say, boy, I think I need to listen to my wife, right?
Come on.
Because God's speaking through your wife, or even your kids. And she's like, you know what, you keep doing this and keep doing this. And I said, well, let me, sometimes you just got to make a little adjustment. And I said, okay, let me make the little adjustment, because sometimes we, especially as men, we can be hard at it. We just so focused and doing it, what have you. But yeah, so yeah, cool. Anyhow, let me go back to you, because we could be there all day.
Hey, how Cap America said, we can do this all day. Brother. Oh man, that 24 karat gold bars. So with that being said, I want to give another question now for the audience, and you can answer this as well. So this is the question right here, and this is a question to the audience. So definitely hit the comments and let us know your thoughts on this. What one belief about yourself that you had to challenge and to overcome? All right. And I'll go ahead and say this for myself.
Yeah.
The one I had, that one belief about myself, that is that I am able to, because I was told I was not. I was told that I was not able to learn, not able to speak. And this right here, I said in one of my podcasts before, it's almost a miracle to see me up here on this stage, because I'm telling you, I'm an introvert. I'm a geek and an introvert. So y'all see right there all the technology behind me. But I would love just be in the crowd space, just be on the computer all day, just figuring out things in technology world. But I realized one thing: I had a voice, the voice to share hope and opportunity to empower and to inspire others. But that one belief that kept me as a challenge and I had to overcome was I could use my voice. I could. So with that, Coach, I'm going to you.
One of the things that I had to overcome was believing that I have something of value to offer to the world. And I'm going to share you something about you, and this changed my life. I don't know if I don't ever share this on the show. It's with Dr. Myles Monroe. I was at the building one day where we have the church, Bahamas Faith Ministry. And I never forgot it. We have a west wing and we have an east wing. And at the church, you have the main sanctuary. And on the east wing is where you have like a lot of the administration offices. And he was on like the west, he was on the west wing. And I know the west wing because I live in the west, right? And I was walking this way and he was coming this way. And there was nobody there. It was only me and Dr. Myles Monroe. There was no cameras. There was no administration. There was no other pastors. There was nobody walking there. And I never forgot it. He just walked. It was one of those moments. He just walk. And when we reached each other, we didn't like shake hands. We didn't have a prayer meeting, and all that type of stuff. We just walk. And he said this and it changed my life. He said this 3 times. He said, world changer, world changer, world changer. And we just kept walking. He said, world changer, world changer, world changer.
Wow.
So now, here's the thing. I'm seeing myself as something, but Dr. Myles Monroe, he's telling me who I am.
Come on now. Come on now.
He's challenging me and reminding me now that no. You're not just part of this ministry. You're not just part of System 3. No, you're not just a Bahamian who was born on an island. You are a world changer.
Ooh, come on.
So even though he said that, I had to get to the point and believe that I'm a world changer or an international voice. That God can use me in spite of me not having a good experience in school. And it wasn't the teacher's fault. It wasn't the school system's fault. The reason why I had a bad experience in school was because of my perception and what I told myself I'm a C student. So I say all of that to say this. What I had to overcome was to realize, wow, I do have something, like you said, I do have something value to say. That regardless of whether I'm educated or uneducated, regardless of how much money in my bank account, regardless of what house I live in, like guess what, Antonio Landis Thompson? You have a voice, you have something to say. That's how come I can sit down now and have the mindset to actually write a book, because I had to get to the point where Dr. Myles Monroe challenged me and say, no. Basically, he's like, hey, I don't know wherever you at right now, as your mentor, as your spiritual leader, as someone hearing from God and can see from God, I'm letting you know now, even if you don't believe it, that you're a world changer.
24 karat gold bars.
And on this show, baby.
24 karat gold bars. Indeed. Come on now. That's the first time you hear that. See, that's the thing about it. And the thing is, it's up to us to believe it.
Yeah.
Because he knew it.
He knew it.
But you knew it. But how long did it took you to resonate in your own being?
Right. And it took years, because I still was struggling. This is good, because see, here's the thing I realized too. All of us, I believe this in life. I believe all of us have someone in our life to call us out or pull us up to our true identity, whether we could see it or not. And God can use anybody. And when you look at your life, right? If you be real with yourself, when you look at your life, there was somebody that saw greatness inside of you. There was somebody that saw success, purpose, and destiny. Like you could walk into a classroom and all of a sudden a teacher could be like, there's something about Mr. Wise. She could see that, but because she dealt with hundreds or thousands of students over the years, the minute you walk in your class, she can see the potential inside of you. She could see that even though you might be struggling in grammar, she could see you could be a great writer. And so sometimes it could be a teacher. Sometimes it could be a coach, whether it's a basketball coach, a football coach. Sometimes it could be a family member. Sometimes it might be an uncle who always encouraging you and letting you know, hey, you different, man. You, hey, I know you hanging with those other fellas. I know you want to run with them, but you different. You like to read. Stop trying to act like you don't want nobody you like to read. You know, when you come home at night, you crack on that light and you like to read, right? So somebody call. So it could be somebody that you could be living in a neighborhood, going to the grocery store, and every time you go to that grocery store, that person ring it to the register, ringing up the grocery store, what have you, and keep reminding you, hey, boy, you're gonna be successful in life. It's like, what this man talking about? You don't know where I'm coming from. You don't know what I'm living in. So what I believe in life, just like Dr. Myles was calling it out, that God placed people in us to call us out, help call that true identity out of us, even before we see it. Even before we see it. So they'll put that this is what I'll say. When I went to college, I never forgot it. I went into this English class, and I went into this English class, and we had to dissect the poems, like, you know, Langston Hughes and Maya Angelou. And I did the class. I wasn't an English major. I had to take this. It was a poetry class or a writing class. And I never forgot it. One day, one of the students, she's a female, she came out to me. She said, you know why? She said, I'm an English major. I said, okay, you English major, you know, to me, no big deal. I'm a business major, right? She said, that man gives me 3 poems to dissect or critique. He gives everybody else 1, but he gives you 2. So it's like, I didn't understand what she was saying. So she was like, basically, you're not an English major, but why is he giving you 2 poems to critique? And why is he giving me 3? I said, well, she said, he's giving me 3 because I'm an English major. It's like, oh. And so one day he started to say something, I kind of understood what he was saying. He's like, you know what? You grew up in the Bahamas, so you understand the King English, right? And so he was like, he just like how I probably my perception. But here's what I was doing. Let me take off these for this. Let me take off this, right? All I was doing was, you know how you read the scripture?
Yes.
And you interpret the scripture? And
Yes.
you dissect the scripture?
Yes.
So when I came into the English class, all I was doing was reading the point, line by line, dissecting and breaking it up. And to him, he's like, this fella's on a whole different level. But he saw something inside of me that he was putting that demand on me. To me, it was nothing. I just thought, okay, he's giving me 2 poems. He's giving her 3. But she's like, no. I'm an English major. Why would he give you 2 poems? And she was, see what he was doing, and it hit me right now. He saw that I had the potential one day to write a book.
Ooh.
Even though I had a bad experience in grammar, and to be honest, thank God for technology now and for people who help you. I still need help, right? But he was he was like, there's something about this man or this gentleman in terms of words, communication, delivery. When he get up and tell us and he explained to us what he felt Maya Angelou was saying online. You catch what I'm saying? But I did not see it. I didn't see it. So he put that demand. So I say all that to say, there are people in our lives, whether we see it or understand, it could even go back to you being in a kindergarten class, elementary, where that teacher gave you some extra homework, or they said something to you, what they was doing. They saw something in you. Basically, they might not understand everything. They saw that greatness inside of you, and what they was doing, they was calling it out, and they was putting that demand on that, like you putting that pressure on there, priming that pump, or going under the ground, priming to get that diamond out. Oh, we in the pocket now.
Oh yeah. You hit it round the nail.
Woo.
I defined that, and those who read the book, where I defined that, as you hit on that one teacher that teacher I had in the book, and I can say it because her name was Miss Gloria Morgan, and she
Thank
was
God for teachers, boy.
very yes. Thank God for good ones. I had one before that wasn't good. Then I ended up I paid the cost for that one, but this one with Miss Gloria Morgan, she was able to encourage me. She was strict. She was strict in her ways and stuff, but very loving at the same time. But such an encourager. And she'll let you know you got this. You got this, young man. You got this.
Yeah.
I got this. And then my mother voice resonating, you got this, young man.
Yeah.
Then of course, I love you from my mom all the time. So I always, even when that negativity hits, even when that fall hits, even when you think you fell short or you did not meet the timeline that we thought it is, the voices recognize the encouragers, not too late. While you have breath in your lungs, what the preacher say? With the blood running warm in your veins, stuff. There's always an opportunity to do greatness, and I'm happy for you by the book. Go ahead, brother.
I want to say this too. Also, it was not only Dr. Myles Monroe, my youth pastor, Dr. Dave Burrows, who now is the pastor. Right? He saw something in me that I didn't see in myself.
Wow.
So me being in the youth group, I was part of the leadership, but he saw something in me. I never forgot it. This is another story, right? when we were growing up back in the day, we had a youth group and we didn't have a youth band. So we used to play back in the day. People could say, okay, I can figure out this guy age now. We used to play the Ron Canoli and the Fred Hammond, and we just used to play the music and sing, right? And I never forgot it. Like Delano said, your style of, the music is just different. And I never forgot it. We was going to have a major youth conference. And, I would help out in the youth group. And I never forgot. And the question came up, well, who's going to lead the praise and worship? Who's going to lead the praise? Who's going to lead the praise? The question came up. And I never forgot this. I'm never. Dr. Dave Burrows said, King Tones. King Tones? He said King Tones. Now, I was involved with music, right? My style of delivery, put it like that, it's unique and different, right? But he did not pick some other people who could have been the most so-called best vocalists, more seasoned. He picked me because he saw something in me. No, I want you to lead it. Now, I was leading it, right, in the youth group. But when you have your major youth conference and you bring in the whole world there, he said, who's gonna be the praise and worship leader? He said King Tones. Like, wow. So even in my uniqueness, my delivery, my style was not like the regular cookie cutter person who could sing and all these vocals. And, I just was, I had like that Kirk Franklin style, just, dumbing up, feeding the words. Be honest with you, I'm just feeding the words. He said, no, because guess what? He saw something inside of me. So what he was doing, he was putting that demand on me because he saw the greatness inside of me.
That one talking about family. If you ain't getting nothing else, you must have people in your life that are willing to speak to you. And I know it's challenging out there, family. I want to say this to y'all guys, and especially some of the men, like I said, I experienced this week, just being in certain groups. I know you don't feel like somebody's speaking to you, you're all alone, that you're all by yourself. As you already heard from King Tone and also heard from myself, you have to have the ear. Because you could walk that path when Dr. Myles Monroe came in and did not hear him. You could have had some other thoughts in your head and stuff. When he brought past you, you could have missed it. But it resonated to your spirit. And also your youth pastor, if he didn't call you out, saying being unique. Because both, they don't know the full story. See, I know Delano A. Johnson, so I understand you were called mellow and you had that mellow voice and then smooth. But the thing is, but you walked in your uniqueness. You were called to be your unique, and your uniqueness is powerful by itself because somebody able to resonate with your frequency. the way you deliver it. So, family, one thing you don't get from the day, make sure you understand that embrace uniqueness. Embrace your uniqueness. And there are others out there that are willing to speak to your life. They're willing to give you opportunities. You just got to get out of the fall and realize to take advantage of the opportunity. King Tone, let me say this because we know we staying within the hour.
Yeah,
We're
okay.
going to do a part. I guess you will say this is follow up part 3 of this because I got some more juicy stuff. I'm not going to rush this. I'm not going to rush this at all. And we're going to do a part 3 of this
Yeah.
and bring more information because we want to do a deep dive. And a couple of things we want to talk about is the purpose compass, then also chaos as a catalyst. And what we're going to do is we want to bring some solution here that will allow this. And this has been rich. I've been truly blessed. And I want people to take in and digest what was just said. Your life examples speak for yourself. As you gave honor to your wife, as you gave honor to Dr. Myles Monroe, and also you, Pastor, and gave honor to yourself for realizing you're being real.
Yeah.
And you see, and this the challenge. I think we have a lot of our men is just being authentic and being real. Hey, you're a certified coach, but you went through life experiences. You went through some challenges, and you still evolving through. Every coach needs a coach, right? And and you have inspired me in so many different ways to stay focused and realize my uniqueness, to use my voice. And when I see you out there and you say the best and the greatest day to be alive is today, I truly believe it because I say it not because I want to say, oh, it's just catchy. It's something I truly believe. When that voice came out from you saying that, it's like you talking to me.
Yeah. Thank you. Wow. Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You know what? I'm learning how to say, I'm learning how to slow down, receive, and say thank you very much. Because sometimes people will come and say, boy, you said something, you motivated me, you encouraged me. Then I say, thank you. Then I say, no. So I take that breath and I say, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we're gonna do a part 3. So people, I want you to stay in tune and y'all make sure you take notes. Rewatch this. Rewatch this. As y'all also like, subscribe to this channel because I'm telling you right now, you do not want to miss the life-changing solutions, life-changing testimony, life-changing things that would get you from staying from the false state, from being in chaos and actually walking into the purpose life that the Creator have promised you. This man right here, he's solid. He already dropped 24 gold bars a day. We already walking on the golden streets of gold right now, brother. So with that being said, tell people how they can get in contact with you, brother.
Hey, you could go to my website, AntonioLandisThompson.com. I'm in social media. You could reach me through LinkedIn. You could go on YouTube. I'm out there on social media. And hey, you might see me out there. You might see my webpage. Hey, the number's real. So you could text me, you could call me, you could email me, and just reach out to me. Just reach out to me. If I have resonated with you, if you think it, just reach out to me, man. Go to my website. All of my information is right there. And also, you can listen to my podcast, Winners for Life Coaching Podcast.
Awesome, amazing podcast. You do not want to miss. You want to be motivated each and every day. That's what you need to have. That's what you need to have as a favorite in your channel. So definitely that. Hey, we're gonna have you back real soon. So we're looking forward to the conversation. So thank you, Coach. And like I said, the best and the greatest day to be alive today. And guess what? We are born for greatness.
Yes.
With that being said, family, we thank you. Trust me, we're gonna have some more King Tone. I'm gonna resonate with Mom because I know Mom be jumping out of her chair when she talked to Coach Antonio so she can definitely be looking for this looking for the opportunity to re-glean and refocus and gain some more insight from your brother. Thank you again. Okay, fam, you saw what happened. Coach Antonio was dropping 24 karat gold bars indeed. So we want to thank him for coming in and being on the show today. Trust me, we're going to have a continued conversation because we do not want to rush this. We want to make sure you reach your full potential. Understand you don't have to be caught in the fog. You do not have to understand your purpose, but you can actually walk in purpose. If you really have the mindset to open your heart, and open your ears and open yourself up to receive from others that have been setting your path to talk greatness in your life. Like Coach Antonio said, the best and the greatest day to be alive is today. He also said, you are born for greatness. So we want to thank him. All right, family. So what I want to do is, hey, it's around the holiday season, the time of this recording. So I got something for y'all guys I want y'all to check out. And that is the book entitled Where. So the book is an amazing book. I'm telling you right now, you want to understand challenges and struggles and stuff in your life through the whole process of growing up, finding your identity. This book right here for you, it will help you as especially as you're trying to understand challenges as far as relationships with your parents, relationship with the school system, relationship in general. And this book will definitely define where and give you some insight about me, but also about yourself. So definitely get this for the holidays. You can immediately get the digital book and download for that. And then those who are looking for the physical copy, we're still working on that, and we're gonna have that with you hopefully soon. So definitely stay tuned for that. But definitely go to the QR code right there and purchase the book. Where. Thank you so much. And also, if you want to support me as well, we're working on the updated website for this show. But meanwhile, if you want to support the channel, you can always go to my merch store, so where you can go ahead and purchase a t-shirt. Where we got men and women sizes, and where do you understand where you are? Just keep on moving forward. We got the 24 karat gold bar shirts dropped indeed. We're gonna do some updates on other shirts and put some more merch on here as well. But that's a best way to actually support me as well. So definitely I appreciate that, fam. So just want to thank you again. I just want to say this. Love is an action word. While you're taking the time to love yourself, make sure you show love to someone else. So you have an amazing weekend. And we'll see you again on the Wise Hour. You know where? We're going to be providing solutions and strategy for your life challenges. All right, family. We see you next time. Have a good one. Take care. Peace.